At 8 o'clock a.m., the world wakes up. Millions of hands reach for the nightstand. Millions of thumbs unlock a screen. Before feet touch the floor, eyes are already scanning. A war in Europe, a friend's engagement, a stranger's breakfast. A political scandal, a cat video. The brain floods with dopamine, cortisol, and adrenaline before the body has even brushed its teeth. But somewhere else, someone wakes up differently. They open their eyes. They look at the ceiling. They stand up, they make coffee. They drink it while looking out the window. There is no scroll. There is no check-in. There is no digital pulse. They start their day in complete, terrifying silence. To the modern mind, this behavior is disturbing. It feels wrong. We look at the person without social media and we get suspicious. We wonder what they are hiding. We wonder if they are judging us. We assume they are out of touch, or arrogant, or perhaps they are just old. But you need to look closer. This isn't an accident. It isn't technical illiteracy. It is a psychological stance. Stick with me. We are going to deconstruct the mind of the person who deletes the apps. We aren't looking at the people who can't use technology. We are looking at the people who won't. Because the reason they disconnect might explain exactly why you feel so exhausted. Psychologically, the choice to leave the digital world usually stems from one of three specific drives. These aren't preferences. They are survival strategies. The first group is the most common. These are the protective mechanisms. For most people, social media is a habit. For this group, it is a sensory assault. The human brain is not designed to process the emotions of 1,000 strangers in 5 minutes. It is designed to care about a tribe of maybe 50 people, but the algorithm doesn't care about biology. It feeds you a funeral, then a wedding, then a protest, then a sale on sneakers. Psychologically, this creates a state called compassion fatigue. The brain cannot switch gears fast enough. It tries to mourn, then celebrate, then rage, all in 10 seconds. Eventually, the emotional centers burn out. You go numb. The person who leaves social media feels this burn more intensely than you do. They are often high-empathy individuals. When they see pain on a screen, they don't just register it, they feel it. Their nervous system treats a digital threat as a physical threat, so they engage a protective mechanism. They cut the cord. This is not weakness. It is sensory intelligence. If you had a peanut allergy, you would not eat a candy bar just to be polite. These people realized the feed was making them sick. It was fragmenting their attention and spiking their anxiety. By deleting the apps, they are strictly regulating their input. They choose to learn about the world at a human speed. They read the news once a day, not once a minute. They understand a fundamental truth that most of us ignore. If you do not build a wall around your attention, the world will dismantle it. They aren't hiding. They are preserving their ability to feel. The second group is different. They aren't overwhelmed. They are rebellious. These are the control seekers. This group is driven by a psychological need for autonomy. They possess a high internal locus of control. They believe they are responsible for their own existence. To them, social media represents the ultimate loss of command. They look at the platform and they see a behavior modification machine. They see a system designed to extract time and monetize insecurity. They understand the concept of the looking glass self. This is the psychological theory that we build our identity based on how we think others perceive us. Social media weaponizes this. It forces you to perform. You stop living your life and start curating it. You take the picture not to remember the moment, but to prove you were there. You measure your worth in engagement metrics. The control seeker refuses to participate in the performance. They feel a deep revulsion toward the fake self. You know this feeling. It is the moment you delete a post because it didn't get enough likes. It is the moment you edit your caption 3 times to sound smarter. The control seeker caught themselves doing this, and it terrified them. They realized they were outsourcing their self-esteem to an algorithm, so they quit. This is an act of reclaiming territory. They want to own their memories. When they sit at a dinner table, they want to be at the dinner table, not in a digital waiting room. They want their privacy back. They reject the idea that a life must be broadcast to be valid. They are trying to anchor themselves in the physical world, the world of dirt and eye contact and awkward silence, because they suspect the digital world is dissolving our humanity. The third group is the most calculating. These are the defensive pessimists. In psychology, defensive pessimism is a strategy where a person visualizes the worst-case scenario to prevent it. This group looked at the trajectory of society and saw a disaster. They saw attention spans shrinking to 8 seconds. They saw critical thinking replaced by tribalism. They saw careers destroyed by decade-old tweets taken out of context. They saw a world addicted to cheap dopamine. and they made a cold calculation. They asked themselves, if I keep using this, who will I be in 10 years? They saw a future where they couldn't read a book without checking their phone 6 times. They saw a future where they had thousands of connections, but no real friends. They saw a future where their reputation was held hostage by a mob they didn't know, so they removed the risk. This group views focus as a finite resource. They treat their attention like money. Every hour spent scrolling is a withdrawal they can never deposit back. They aren't necessarily spiritual. They are often high performers. They know that deep work, the kind of work that builds empires or creates art, requires boredom. It requires long stretches of uninterrupted silence. Social media kills boredom. It fills every gap with noise. The defensive pessimist deletes the app as a productivity tool. They are willing to suffer the social death of being offline in exchange for the intellectual life of being focused. They are betting on the long game. In an economy of distraction, the person who can focus for 4 hours is a superpower. They aren't judging you, they are just outworking you. Now we have to turn the mirror. It is easy to romanticize these people. It is easy to paint them as enlightened monks living above the fray, but psychology is rarely black and white. There is a heavy cost to this decision. When you leave social media, you accept a specific kind of pain. You become invisible. There is a phenomenon known as perceived social isolation. When you don't have a profile, you vanish from the collective mind. You don't get invited to the party because the invitation was sent on Facebook. You miss the birth announcements. You miss the inside jokes. You miss the cultural touchstones. People forget you. Not because they don't love you, but because the machine isn't reminding them that you exist. The person off social media walks a lonely path. They have to work harder to maintain relationships. They have to make the phone call. They have to schedule the coffee. They have to deal with the constant, low-level friction of being out of the loop. They live in a ghost town while everyone else is at the carnival. But here is the psychological twist. While they experience more social isolation, they often report far less emotional loneliness. How is that possible? Because digital connection is empty calories. It tastes like connection, but it provides no nutrition. We double-tap a photo and feel we have interacted. We comment fire emoji and feel we have supported a friend. But biologically, we haven't. No oxytocin was released. No gaze was met. It is a simulation of friendship. The person without social media has fewer interactions, but the interactions they have are dense. They are real. They have traded width for depth. They don't have an audience. They have a circle, and they have something else. They have the ability to be bored. When was the last time you stood in line at the grocery store and just stood there? No phone, no podcast, no text, just you and your thoughts. For most people, that moment is terrifying. We are afraid of what comes up when the noise stops. We use the phone to plug the holes in our psyche. We scroll to avoid thinking about our career, or our relationship, or our mortality. The person who deletes the apps forces themselves to face the silence. They process their thoughts in real time. They don't store up anxiety for later. They deal with it now. So let's go back to that person in the window. The one drinking coffee, staring at the dust motes. We looked at them and wondered if they were judging us. The truth is, they aren't thinking about us at all. They are engaging in the radical act of experiencing time without trying to capture it. We have broken this down into 3 tribes: the sensory guardians who quit to protect their peace, the control seekers who quit to own their identity, the defensive pessimists who quit to protect their future. Which one are you? Or more importantly, which one do you need to be? You don't have to throw your phone in the ocean. You don't have to become a hermit, but you do have to acknowledge the trade you are making. Every time you unlock the screen, you are trading a piece of your autonomy for a hit of dopamine. You are trading your focus for entertainment. You are trading the present moment for a digital archive. Maybe the person without social media isn't the crazy one. Maybe they are the only one who has woken up. They have accepted that they will miss out. They will miss the trends. They will miss the news cycle. They will miss the viral moment. But in exchange, they get their life back. They get to eat a meal without photographing it. They get to watch a movie without checking who texted. They get to make a mistake without it being recorded forever. They get to define who they are, not by what they post, but by what they do when no one is watching. In a world that screams for attention, there is a quiet, devastating power in being willing to be invisible. So I have a challenge for you. When this video ends, put the phone down. Do not check the comments. Do not check your notifications. Do not open another app. Just sit. Watch the dust float in the light. Listen to the hum of the refrigerator. Feel the weight of your own body in the chair. See how long you can last before the itch starts. See how long you can exist without an audience. Because that feeling, that urge to reach for the device, is the most important thing you need to understand about yourself. If this analysis helped you see the screen differently, subscribe to the channel. We dive deep into the psychology that drives your behavior, even the behavior you try to ignore. Like the video to help the algorithm show this to the people who need it most, ironically, the ones who are still scrolling. I'll see you in the next one.